Everybody, good Thursday evening. It's time for Weather Geeks, a little bit later than usual, but we are getting to it this evening. It's been a pretty busy several hours. We told you we would have a higher chance of wet weather today compared to yesterday, and that came to fruition. We had a few rounds of showers and some thunderstorms earlier on, and this produced a little hail in some spots. It produced some nice rainbows this evening. Thanks to everyone for sharing those beautiful pictures of the clouds and the rainbows across our area. Be sure and follow me on Instagram. I'm Eric WFMJ. Follow the Storm Tracker 21 account on Instagram as well to check out the latest and greatest weather pictures sent in to us. Weatherpics, P-I-C-S, at WFMJ.com is the email address that's best to send those pictures to. As of this recording at 8:30, the last of the showers pushing across I-80 in Mercer County. The rest of us are in pretty good shape. Now, as you would expect in a hit or miss summertime situation, rainfall amounts pretty variable. We had very little rain around downtown Youngstown, but Sharon, Yankee Lake on north towards Kinsman, an inch plus perhaps in some spots, down towards the river in East Liverpool over the last 24 hours. Maybe a half an inch to an inch worth of rain. Over towards the Stark Columbiana line, New Franklin area, west of Hanoverton, west of Lisbon. We're talking probably a half an inch to an inch worth of rain. Lawrence County kind of missed out on a lot of the action earlier today. Now at the airport in Vienna, we only registered a trace worth of rain as of the daily climate report issued at about 5:15. Not sure if the airport had any rain right at the airbase this evening, but as of about 5:15, a trace, leaving us 1.15 inches below the average for the month of June. What a contrast this June compared to last June. Last June was much more waterlogged across our region. Now, the dew points are still in the comfortable range. A little bit higher because we've had some rain this evening. There's still a little low-level moisture influencing those localized dew points. But generally, it's not that muggy, and it's not going to be that muggy just yet until we get into Friday night and Saturday. So our Friday plays out like this. It is going to be a nice start to the day, a little bit warmer, upper 50s to around 60, upper 70s by lunchtime, and we'll stay dry into the evening. And a dinner time temperature in the lower 80s. It's going to be warm, but again, not that humid just yet. That's going to change though. Dew points tomorrow morning, mostly mid 50s. But by tomorrow night, tomorrow evening into the overnight, those dew points approaching 70, and we might see dew points in the Florida range on Saturday. Very soupy air, but thankfully it's just a one-day deal. All right, let's talk about the weather as we head into the weekend. One round of showers and storms will be a possibility in the wee hours of Saturday morning. Maybe midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, there could be a shower or a storm along our warm front. And then as we get into the daylight hours on Saturday, our attention turns mostly to the afternoon. Cold front heading into that very soupy air mass, and while there's not much cold air at all with this front, there is a dew point change with it, and so there's enough of a contrast that that'll be enough to lift the atmosphere some, and showers and storms will probably become pretty numerous Saturday afternoon. But the good news is the whole weekend's not going to be like that. In fact, this front will get far enough to the south on Sunday that I do think dew points will lower and we'll see an increase in sunshine. SPC today, Storm Prediction Center, with their Day 3 outlook, did put eastern Ohio and western PA in either a 1 or 2 on a 1 to 5 scale. Doesn't really make much of a difference at this point. We don't want to split hairs too much. You're going to see that maybe there's a higher risk in the southern viewing area or south of I-80, say, on our map here, but don't split hairs too much. The threat at this point is pretty similar just about everywhere Saturday. It's going to be focused mostly in the afternoon, say 2 to 7. Any storm could bring damaging winds. There's going to be that threat for flash flooding in areas that might see more than one storm. With that juicy of an air mass, these will be efficient rain producers on Saturday, so that's going to be a risk, and there could be some hailers mixed in as well. It's going to be a day to stay weather aware on Saturday, and we'll continue to hone in on the timing and potential impacts as we go into our Friday. I am sure I will do a video blog or 2 on Friday talking about Saturday's weather, and of course we'll have an update on weather for Weather Geeks. Kind of an unusual pattern setting up as we go into next week, kind of a blocky pattern. It's going to pay off some dividends though. We're on the nice side of things. Almost an omega block looking pattern to next week. You know, almost like the Greek letter omega here, with a big ridge extending through the upper Midwest, and then a cutoff low pressure system over New England. So you get a pattern that looks like this: low, high, low across the lower 48. It's not bad news at all for us though, because we'll be close enough to the drier air being pulled down into that upper low over the Northeast that actually looks pretty darn nice a lot of next week. I mean, Dew points are not going to be much of a story. It's going to be generally sunny. It's going to be pretty warm, but not crazy hot. I'm liking the way next week looks from a forecast standpoint. I think that if you have outdoor plans, if you happen to be off next week, or if you work outdoors, the weather's going to cooperate for a lot of the week with benign weather. It's going to get a little dry once again. We've had some beneficial rains at times over the last few days. It's looking pretty dry next week. So if your yard is already starting to get a little crispy, a little dry, I think that's going to continue to be a problem as we go into next week. Otherwise, yeah, looks pretty nice. That'll do it for me on Weather for Weather Geeks this evening. Again, more updates on Saturday's severe weather threat on social media, on 21 News, on the Storm Tracker 21 app, and on Friday's Weather for Weather Geeks. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.